This is my Come On Chameleon junk journal. It's finally finished, and today it's time for a flip through. Hi, this is Luise Heinzl. Nice to see you here today. Just in case you're new to my channel, if you want to see this journal before the embellishing has happened in a pretty raw condition, then please check out the description box of this video. There I have linked a playlist for you where you can watch the replay of my Come On Chameleon paper premiere. In that video, I have shown you this journal before I worked in it. So there you can also, if you want, compare how it looked before I started turning it into this monster. So perhaps you want to watch that. And in the playlist, you can also find some videos of the process of making the embellishments and some of the things in here. I've tried out different things, also some new things, or at least new to me. So perhaps you want to check that out and try that out for your own journals. And even if this is chameleon themed, I think in the playlist you can also find some videos which can be helpful for other themes. So if you watch that, or if you think I don't want to watch that because I don't have a chameleon journal, please think about that. Perhaps you want to watch it because there are perhaps some things you can do with other journals or in other journals as well that doesn't have to be chameleon themed. For this journal, I can say I have learned a lot about how I want my style to be. I learned a lot about color combinations, and I also learned some tricks how to get a cohesive journal. As you can see, this is pretty colorful, and that is sometimes for me not so easy to get a cohesive look when I have so many colors in a journal. And perhaps you want to check out that playlist and watch the videos. There I explain more details than I will do in this video. But I'm really surprised, to be honest, I'm really surprised how this turned out. And that these wild colors go so harmoniously together. And there's one thing that really, where I don't want to sound arrogant, but where I impressed myself somehow with an idea how you can get cohesive colors in your journal. Again, that doesn't have to be a chameleon journal, that can be any other journal as well. But I'm pretty sure that I will try what I did here in my future journals as well to get a cohesive look. So what am I talking about? I will tell you that after I appreciated this cool effect here. Look, this is a holographic material. This is just a packaging. You can use this as a pocket as well. It has this little thing here so that you then can put something in here, and then you can even close it. And I have put this really weird material on here. This is some golden something, I don't know. So this was, on a roll, like, somehow a ribbon or so, but really wide. And then I have put this cluster on top, and I think this looks really chameleon-ish. What do you think about this? And I thought this fits really well to this pattern here on the paper. But what I was trying to say before I came to this page, I tried out different things with the colors in this journal. And I did that with my stenciling and also with stamping and splattering to get a cohesive look to this journal. And I'm really proud. To be honest, I'm really proud. Here are some pages where you can see that a little bit better than on others, because I didn't want to overload. Is that a good English word for that? I don't know. This thing with colors. But here, for example, you can already see what I did. For example, here, this page, this is just a page which I dyed with some watercolor, and then I've spritzed some mica stain spray, and these little lighter drops here are oxide spray. And this belly band is really, it has a different color than this is, obviously. So I tried to get a bridge, like, you know, a color bridge to the other page here by picking this yellow here up and also the purple. So this yellow here, you can find here, this is stamped with some oxide ink, so that I have the yellow here as well and get this connection. And here I also included this purple by stamping to this little cluster after I had glued it down. Then here on this page there's also a lot of blue, so I stenciled over the paper here and also over this book page with a matching color, which, you know, matches these flowers here. And that was so interesting to do that in the whole journal and to connect the pages with this little trick with each other. Here, for example, is this really crazy, purplish pink or so. So I splattered with some Seedless Preserves oxide spray here. This is just really, you know, it's really nearly invisible so that it doesn't look so extreme on this page. Also here on the Chameleon itself, I don't know if you can see that. I have some golden splatters there, can you see? And then this purple, or this pinkish purple, which is approximately this color, so that I get this bridge here. And also here I splattered around this little page tab here so that I get a connection to this, because when you look at this, this really is, you know, popping out, and I wanted to have this bridge, and I think that worked really, really well with this little trick. I have a separate video about this trick where I show you how I made this page here. I made a little like provoking statement in that video where I said that I did my stenciling wrong, but obviously that is something which is not existing. There is no right or wrong with junk journaling. But when I said I did my stenciling wrong, I meant that I wanted to do it like this, or that I had the feeling that I need to do it exactly like it is here, to embed this pocket and also the tag like seamlessly into the background. That's why I have chosen exactly the colors here on the tag for the stenciling in the background. Can you see these colors are matching here? And also here, this turquoise, this was in the video very, very surprising for me that it looks so good, or at least for me it looks good. But with this little turquoise thing here and also here, the Chameleon was suddenly part of the page. And I think what I did here works for any other junk journal page as well. That doesn't have to be a Chameleon page, but with this thing that the chameleons are able to change their color, and that they change the color like the colors in the surrounding are, that was like, they helped me to find this out. Do you know what I mean? So if you want to watch that video, you can find that in the playlist linked below this video. There you can also find how I made these page tabs. This specific one was not made in the video. I made that later, but a similar one to this was made in the video, because I thought my chameleons need something to eat and they wanted some flies for dinner. So I made these little things here with these, abstract flies here. This is also something which happened in the video when I originally had something way more basic. I don't want to say simple, but basic in my mind. And this was really surprising. So, I mean, when I made it in the video afterwards, I knew how to make that, and then I made more so that I have all of these here now. And I think that is a really, really nice addition, because I made these page tabs with the same plastic flowers like I have on the cover here, so that we have a connection to the cover with the page tabs as well. And also this Tim Holtz fabric is the same I used for parts of the cover here, and I find that really interesting. When you close that and when you have this journal in your shelf, then you see all of these little things, and that makes it for me really, really interesting. I want to hold this a little closer to the camera so that you can also see the transparency I've used to make these wings. Can you see that? So around these flowers there are these plastic wings, so they are really sturdy. They can't be destroyed when you flip through the journal, and because of the fact that they are peeking out here, they don't add bulk. So I thought that is a really nice idea as well. You could, of course, also do that with other flowers or with butterflies or whatever you like to have here as these page tabs. Or it doesn't have to be page tabs. You could even leave the fabric out and then, you know, only add these as a little thing for the journal. I also included some things from my stash, like for example these paint samples, and yes, they look like they originally looked when I got them from a paint shop, you know, these shops where you can get these for free, so that you can hold that to your wall to decide if you want to paint your wall in this color. And I find these really, really helpful to have some journaling space, because this functions as a journaling card now, obviously. And if you want to check out the digital paper I have used here, oh, perhaps you want to look at this as well, because this is hidden when the tag is in here. If you want to check out the digital paper I have used here, then you can check that out in my shop. The links are down below in the description box. The Come On Chameleon paper collection has 3 different items to choose from. There are junk journal pages, there's an ephemera pack, and both of them combined in a junk journal kit. But I have linked that these things separately down below in the description box, so that you can check that out. This is also pretty new to me. I think I have never done something like this before. I had this little file folder here from the Come On Chameleon ephemera pack, and then I thought I want to turn that into a little booklet somehow, but not removable. So I decided to just take some coffee dyed paper, and then I've sewn through here so that I now have this, yeah, like double booklet somehow, and then I've just attached it here to the page. I find that really interesting. This is also then, oh sorry, some, yeah, like hidden journaling space. Oh, what do you want to tell me? Oh no, what happened here? Oh no, oh no, oh no, holy cow, what is that? There's a little bit of glue. Oh, I know how that happened. That happened when I glued this flower there. But oh no, I just destroyed the page there. Oh no, later on I need to put something over there, perhaps a little bit of washi tape or so to cover that up. Yeah, I also included some little things like pockets and other little things from Happy Mates, like this here, for example. And this little page itself, that was originally a little note I got when I had a 5-item swap with someone. So I thought, why don't I take this and just include this here? I really like these, like, you know, these small pages. Really cool. And yes, here is a lot of bling bling in this journal. That is pretty unusual for me, I would say. Here's another of these page tabs. I have one of them which is peeking out on the top. Perhaps that is an idea for you as well. I thought it's nice to have the page tabs here, because, you know, when you have the journal in your shelf like so, yeah, then you would probably look to the journal from here, from this perspective. But when you take it out, it could be nice to have some things peeking out here. And I think that is also a nice connection from this side of the journal to the other one when you have the page tab here. This here is also, no, it's from here. I'm sorry. First I wanted to have it as a top loaded pocket, but the pocket is from here. I'm sorry. This is a pocket from here, and then the other part of this little card, which also comes from the ephemera pack, and the other pocket is here. And I thought this looks nice when I glue it like so, because then you can, yeah, have this idea that the chameleon is, you know, walking around this corner here. Yeah. the most of these tags, which come from the ephemera pack, are white from the back, because I thought this journal is so full with colors that I wanted to have something white. Some people say, perhaps now, that is really weird. That is then your opinion, but and that is good, yeah, that is of course okay when you have that opinion that you can't have white things in a journal, but I think this calms it down somehow. And imagine you would journal on here, then this wouldn't be white anymore. But with this like raw paper, you also have better possibilities regarding to which pen you want to use to write on here, or perhaps you want to stencil on here, perhaps you want to draw something on here. And I think with that, it's nice to have something white in the journal as well. And imagine here would be something with handwriting or so, then this wouldn't be white anymore. Yeah, because imagine you take, for example, an orange pen and write on here, then the writing would fit to the background, and then this is not empty anymore. So I find that really good when you have some white things in a journal. And I think this fear of the blank page is also not necessary / hard to overcome. I think there are many people who have like really problems with white things, and sometimes I think we need to put more empty things and more white things, especially white, into our journals. Perhaps you want to leave a comment how you see that and how you feel that for your own journals. And I also tried to stamp to my digital paper here with oxide ink. That turned out really, really nice on the pages here. This is printed on matte photo paper. This photo paper has the photo surface on one side and normal copy paper on the other side. So if you want to do what I'm explaining now, what I did here, then you have to have that in mind, please, if you want to use oxide ink as well. Here, this reacts like normal copy paper because that is the back side of the photo paper. The photo surface is only on this side, but there are also double-sided photo papers available. Yeah, it's just, I used what I had, and this happened to be only one-sided. But you have to have in mind, if you want to use oxide ink and if you want to have the effect I want to explain with this stamping example here, then you need to stamp to the photo surface. If you would stamp to this, that would not work like I will explain it now. So look here. Here we have this red and orange, and also here this is, from my understanding, this is more red than orange, even if that is probably a little bit weird, because if you look at the space the orange flowers take here, the orange is more. But somehow when I look at this, this looks red to me. It's probably also because of this paper with these red leaves, which I, by the way, got in a Happy Mail. This is a handmade paper. So I thought I want to take some red oxide ink. And that is exactly what I did. These little dots here are stamped with, I think it was fired brick oxide ink. And as you can see, they are only in some spots red. Can you see that? Here on the skin, for example, of the chameleon, they are red. And the rest looks pretty much like this color here. And that was the trick. That is, this is exactly what I wanted. Yeah, it turned out exactly like I wanted it, because I wanted the red of the oxide ink really in the background and the oxidation in the foreground. And what you can see here is the oxidation of this red oxide ink, and that only happens on photo paper. So if I would have stamped with my oxide ink on this page here, it would have turned out red, like you would expect the oxide ink to turn out. Yeah, so here on the bottom you can perhaps see that a little bit better. Also here on the fabric it's red, and the oxidation turns out really grayish like this part of the page is. I took my stamp and I inked that with the oxide ink and then directly stamped. I haven't used water, you know, to spritz the stamp or so, but just inked the stamp and then pressed it to the paper, and that way the oxidation gets really extreme on photo paper. Yeah, please don't be disappointed if you try that on normal copy paper and you get a different result. That works, I don't want to say only on photo paper, because I don't know all of the papers in this world, yeah, but it might be that it works on other papers as well, but this is photo paper, okay? Here's another of these little page tabs with the fly. This is another version. This was, yeah, like my basic idea of making these little flies. I have taken some tiny lights. I mean, they don't light up because they are old tiny lights. So I've just used the wire, and here you can see this little light bulb. If you look very close, I'm hoping that you can see that in the camera. I mean, with my eyes, I can see it. And if I know it, I know that I've used that. But, you know, this is somehow, yeah, an upcycling project or so, because I had these broken tiny lights and I thought, what can we do with them? And then I came to this idea to make these little flies. For the eyes of the chameleons, I have used some glossy accents on most of them, so to make the eyes a little more dimensional. I think that is a really nice addition. This journaling card here, for example, which also comes from the Come On Chameleon ephemera pack, is just cut out. Yeah, I have taken my decal trimmer. Can you see? That makes this cool edge there. And then I have just left it as it is, so that the new owner of this journal can do what he or she wants to do with this card. Because I wanted to have some things which are really like raw, like they came from my printer, or they came from my stash. I really enjoy that when, you know, the new owner has something where he or she can be creative, because when everything is like completely finished, that would be boring. So, but what I was trying to say is, when I have this card in my hand and I go over the eye of the chameleon here, that feels so cool, even if that is just this tiny detail on this card and the rest is, you know, from the printer and then cut out, but that makes it so interesting. I haven't done that for all of the chameleons, but only, you know, for the most of them. But I thought if I would do it for all of them, it could also be that you think that is too much, but of course that is personal preference. I also included some of the things I made during our compartmental making live weekend with Barbara from 49 Dragonflies. So this, for example, is one of the belly bands I made there, and I've decorated that with these little flowers here, which also come from another recent video I have on my channel. This page, somehow, this is weird, isn't it? I mean, this gold, I mean, this came from my printer. It looks like gold, but obviously my printer can't print gold. Yeah, it's a different thing that if you, for example, would take some gilding wax and put that to... Oh, put that to the paper. I can't resist, because look, what I was trying to say is, this looks gold, but it is, you know, only printed from the printer. But here there's the gold, and here there's the gold. And first I thought this yellow doesn't fit to the rest. But then I was standing in front of this page and I thought, well, I want to leave it exactly like it is, just with this yellow. But I think if we put the tiniest little bit of gilding wax here and there, then this could be even more connected to this page, because, you know, this is gold. Yeah, I think that is what I was missing the whole time. Do you know that when you think, okay, now it's finished, and then in the next second you look at it again and you think, no, it's not finished yet. Then 5 seconds later you look at it and you think, okay, now it's finished, and then you change your mind every 5 seconds. I mean, that is probably the hardest question ever. When is a journal finished? But now this, I think this is really nice. Huh? Yeah. And what do you think about this yellow in combination with this page? Is that crazy? If we think about what I said before with these color bridges, would you expect this yellow as, for example, splatters or stenciling on this page to make it nice? Or is this good? I think I like it. Yeah, like here, for example, look, these chameleons here on this little pocket have this blue, and before I splattered to this page there was no other blue on the page. Yeah, and please imagine this without the blue. That looked really, really weird. So I have taken some Uncharted Mariner oxide spray and then I have splattered that to the page. And here, yeah, here you can see this phenomenon with the photo paper. Remember, here the oxidation turned out pretty gray on the photo surface of the paper. Here, in this case, this is the photo surface of the paper, and this is the copy paper side. So that means this is oxide spray splattered to the page, but it is blue, and I mean, the oxidation is not so extreme like on the photo paper. If I would have splattered this to the other side, the oxidation would be way, way more in the foreground, and this bluish, yeah, turquoise blue, which Uncharted Mariner is, would be way more in the background. But with having in mind that this is the copy paper side of the photo paper, this gets this nice blue, and then it fits really nice to these. Yeah, hopefully. I think when you have seen this page here the last time, this little flower was not here. There was only this leaf. And the whole time... What happened here? Oh no. Is this phenomenon of my glued tag? I mean, how often... How... Where was that? I think that was in my Halloween in August journal, wasn't it? Where I accidentally glued a tag to a pocket. Yeah, and it happened here again. So this tag is now part of the pocket, obviously. And if I'm not mistaken, holy cow, I think in the Halloween in August journal, it was also one of these leaves where that happened, that I accidentally glued the tag to the pocket. I need to rewatch the other video, but that doesn't matter. This is now, it's now there. It's not a fail. It needs to be here. I mean, then you can just tuck something behind here, and oh, that is even great. You can also tuck something behind here. It wants to be like that, obviously, but I have additionally glued this little flower cluster on here after I have looked at this page for, I think, a week or so, because I thought something is missing here. So yeah, I have added this. This is just made from some fabric flowers, some die cuts, and these little things, you know. I normally use these for my butterfly feelers, but obviously they are normally meant to build flowers in several different ways, and of course you can also include them in flowers. You don't have to only use them for butterfly feelers. Here's also some gold. Let me try to show that in the camera. This is Distress Spritz Fossilized Amber. That looks really, really nice on the photo paper, but if you want to use Distress Spritz on photo paper, please take your finger after you have spritzed to the paper and do this carefully. Then look to your finger, and if you have the spritz on your finger, please take some fixative or so. I have taken a sprayable fixative to make the spritz stay on the photo paper, because it's not, in the most cases, the spritz, I mean, for the most photo papers, the spritz is not permanent. That was something I discovered a while ago, but the solution is really easy. Just spritz to the photo paper and then use a sprayable fixative, and then everything is on here. Yeah, so, and it will stay there. Many people have asked me where I got this leaf. This is from a Happy Mail. And I have used several of these because I got a ton of these in one and the same Happy Mail. Really, really cool leaves. But unfortunately, I don't know how this was made. So I think this is not a die cut. Please don't ask me. Okay, don't ask me. I'm always so sad when you ask something and then I can't tell you how it was made or where you can get it. But for these leaves, it's always the same thing. Every time I have these leaves in my videos, there are approximately, like, you know, a minimum of 20 comments. Where's the leaf from? I don't know. It's from a Happy Mail. I'm sorry. But perhaps you can also imitate something like that by, you know, just cutting such a shape with your scissors. Perhaps that is possible. Yeah. I also glued some of these flower clusters over the flowers from the printable. So here, for example, you can see the flower stems are coming from here, and here under this cluster there is a printed flower. So I thought, why don't I take one of my clusters and decorate that like so that it then, you know, is not like a flower which is flying in the air or so, but it has this little thing here and also this little flower, which adds then to the arrangement. This is also a little belly band. This card I got a very, very long time ago, and I have just used this to manipulate that a little bit. This tag comes from the Chameleon ephemera pack, and I have just manipulated this little arm, which already was on the card, and I have lifted that up to be able to put the tag behind. The card was made with parts of my Do-It-Yourself ephemera pack. That is a Halloween ephemera pack, but obviously you can also use that for other things. Yeah, I also have one of the little mushrooms we made in one of the last videos from the layered die cuts. Ooh, can't speak anymore. Another one is here. Here, there was originally some sewing. The same here, because here on the other page I have sewn this tag on, and with that I have had sewing here. So I decided to make that just a little more interesting by stamping over this. Hopefully you can see the color bridge here. This is peacock feathers oxide ink, and I've tried to get this connection here to the left page and the colors here. And I did the same thing here. First I stamped, also with a little bit of purple, these little flowers here in the background of the mushroom, because the page is purple here, and then I thought that fits really nice. And I've also had a little piece left over from the fabric, so I used this for making the grass here for the mushroom, and I think that is really nice and a good, yeah, possibility to cover sewing like that, because now it looks like it was done on purpose. This little tag here and this card you have also seen already in one of the videos which are in the playlist. That was in the same video like this here was, when I said I did my stenciling wrong. After I finished the video, I was pretty satisfied with the page. And I can just see something, oh my goodness. But then I will go into that in a second. But then when I looked at the page again, I thought here something is missing. So I added this little cluster here, which wasn't there when I recorded the other video. And I just saw when I took out the card here that here's also some yellow. That makes me so happy, because when I looked at this, I thought, when you look at this double spread, we have yellow here, some kind of, yeah, it's like a beige yellow here, but where is that on the rest of the page? And then I thought, okay, I want to be happy with that. I have managed to get this red and the purple together somehow with these circles. I was pretty happy. And how this whole thing and this spread turned out. But when I now see these yellow splatters, I'm even more happy with this page, because now we have this connection from this yellow here. I mean, here it's not so massive, but here it's pretty massive, and now it's here as well. And do you know how that came? That was pure coincidence, because I splattered here to this coffee dyed paper to have something around the mushroom. And then that obviously soaked through the paper and left this. Ah, that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. And what I also wanted to mention is I want to say a really, really huge thank you to all of you who have celebrated the eyelashes. If you haven't seen the other videos yet, then let me quickly tell you what I did. I came to the idea to add these eyelashes here to the Chameleon. So these are eyelashes I bought on Amazon. I have the package here somewhere because I did something on this little guy here, which I want to show you in a second as well. So I still have them here. So they look like this, and you can take them out here separately so that you then can also decide how many you want to add. And they come in different sizes, different colors. This is obviously black. This is brown. I also found out that there are eyelashes in other colors, like white, for example. Yes, for me, white is a color. Hopefully for you as well. I mean, if white isn't a color, what is it then? Yeah. Let's not start this discussion because that is endless. But what I have done is I have taken some glue and just glued them here and there. And I also found out that you can shape them with your heat tool. Here on the first page, I did that because... no, not really. I have a page where I did that because when I glued that there... Where is this page now? When I glued the eyelashes to the Chameleon, I thought they are a little bit too big. And then I thought, instead of taking my scissors and, you know, cut them off, that would probably be really hard to do. I tried to use my heat tool here, and that worked just perfect. Look, now they look a little bit like he has... went to a crazy party or so. They are a little bit like distressed or so and not so regular anymore, but that is really cool. Just take your heat tool and put the heat to the eyelashes and then, you know, be careful, otherwise they are gone. I'm assuming if you put too much heat to the material, then it will just melt or, you know, disappear into nirvana or so. But that way you can make them smaller if you accidentally have taken one which is too big for the Chameleon you want to put them on. And that is really cool because then you have them, you know, they are even more alive somehow. And speaking about alive, let's speak about this little guy here. I found this Chameleon on Amazon and I couldn't resist to buy it. This is obviously a 3D print, but I have changed it a little bit. You can already tell I have also added the eyelashes here, and I have also done something with the eyes. These are not the original eyes because they looked like cat eyes somehow, and I didn't like that. But I like that this is so flexible and that you can play around with this and that it changes the color. I mean, how cool is this material? Look, when I hold it like this, it's green and it changes into pink on this side. And here it changes from blue to green. Isn't that crazy? The gold you can see on here, I have added later. That is just some gilding wax, and I've just, you know, added it here and there to get a nice connection to the journal. You see I have some golden elements here as well because I want to gift this to the new owner of the journal, so this will be then, you know, part of the journal. I thought this is really cool when you have the journal and then you can put that into your shelf, for example, like so, or also obviously the other way around, and then you can put him here and he can sit here. And I think, I mean, you can't see that so well, I think, because the light I mean, depending on the light, my camera has some problems to catch that. But can you see how well the colors fit to the pages? I mean, that is somehow coincidence, slash the color I have chosen to you know, there have been, you could choose between different colors of this chameleon. And how cool is that when he moves like that? I mean, you would need to move the journal as well, but how cool is that? Now it looks like he moves by himself. But I really, really like that. And this fluffy purple thing here is almost like a nest or so. And in combination with this, I find that really, really cool. For the eyes, I did something because I didn't like the eyes. They looked really, really crazy. And I have just taken some eyes from my printable. So these eyes is just from this chameleon here, from the page where this came from. And I've just printed that out again, cut the eye. At least, no, not at least. Two of them. Holy cow. You make me nervous. When he stares at me like this, he makes me really nervous. And then I have glued the eyes with some super glue. And then I have added the eyelashes. And on top of that, there's just some glossy accents to protect the paper. I mean, you know, the eyes are just from paper. And I thought that looks way better than the original thing. I mean, you can't compare it now anymore because you can only see this. But please believe me, the other eyes were really, really crazy. Not so nice. Yeah, so you have to go here because we have to go on here. You want to be in the frame with your full body? Okay. This is always so crazy. I mean, my body nearly didn't want to do this video today because, and that is somehow with every journal I finish, because when I have to do this video, I know, I mean, this flip-through video, I know that this journal will leave the house. And that is somehow really, really crazy. I mean, it's a positive feeling, of course. Otherwise, I would keep it for myself. Then it wouldn't go into my shop. But on the other hand, it's also really crazy because this was part of my life for the past few weeks and nearly months. I mean, if I include the time to make the digital paper, then it's months, and that is really, really crazy and somehow a little bit sad as well when you then have to let such a journal go. But that is also, and I talk about that because so many of you ask me about that. When I show a flip through of a journal, then some of you write in the comments, "Oh, Luise, how can you give such a journal away?" And you sometimes can't understand, or some of you sometimes can't understand why I sell my journals and why I don't keep them for myself. But for me, and that is the answer to that, for me, giving a journal away, no matter if it's a gift or if I sell it in my shop, is also part of the process of making a journal. That is somehow, part of that. And I enjoy when I have finished this to sit here, flip through this for the last time, you know, and then it will go into a package and then it will go to the new owner. Because the emotions I have now are really unique. And to think about what the new owner will think when he or she will flip through the journal for the first time, while I'm flipping through this for the last time, you know, this connection that is really extreme. And somehow I have the feeling that we then sit there together somehow, because for me it's the last time flipping through this, and for the other person who gets the journal, it's then the first time, you know, after it will come out from the package. Does that make sense? That's probably pretty weird, but that is what is in my mind. And because of that, yeah, giving a journal away is also part of this whole thing, and I really enjoy that. By the way, this is journal number 118 I made, and when I stamped this here and when I put my signature here, I saw that this guitar packaging here, which you, by the way, can take out completely, it's just a little pocket then, it says Karman. And somehow when you say that faster, it's like come on, and then it's nearly like come on, come on chameleon. And when I saw this, I was like, come on chameleon, you know what I mean? So I changed this somehow, but that is also somehow weird because I saw that today, this connection somehow, I mean, it's written wrong, yeah, but somehow there was a connection for me. And why is that you see that then so late? I mean, on the last day before you have to, how do you say that in English? How before you have to part with this, I think is the word. That is weird. And I'm assuming that someone who will flip through this then for the first time, you know, after getting this, will see totally different things than I see. And perhaps there are things the person will see I haven't seen here yet. And I find that so interesting. And that is, yeah, isn't that the beauty of junk journaling? I think so. And I definitely need to make more flowers. I have really used a lot of these flowers in this journal. When I started making the flowers, I was like, okay, I have a really big stash of these now. And I mean, they are layered. You can see they are made from different components. And this took me a while to make all of these. And when I had my little box with the flowers, I thought, okay, that will last for a couple of journals, and now I have only a few left, and I definitely need to make more. But that shows me how many of these flowers went into this journal. That's crazy. By the way, a while ago we've talked about the oxide ink on the copy paper side or the photo paper side. Here you can see the same oxide ink. What did I say? Fired brick, I guess. This is on the copy paper side. Yeah, here you can see clearly the red of the oxide ink, and the oxidation, don't be confused, this is splattered with dried marigold. Ignore the splatters, please. But these round things, can you see the red that is now really in the foreground, and the oxidation is not so extreme also here. And that is because this is the copy paper side of the photo paper, and then it reacts completely different. That is a good comparison because the other page had the same medium and reacted completely different because there we had it on the photo paper side. Also here, this here, can you see this little stamping here? This is not part of the print. I have stamped that also with oxide ink, and that was peacock feathers oxide ink. And you can, here you can see how peacock feathers normally looks, here, this turquoise. And it's, by the way, the same stamp. But here on the photo paper side of the photo paper, it reacts completely different, and it gets nearly like, yeah, turquoise with a lot of white. Can you see that? And that fits so well to these flowers because they here also look a little bit oxidized, and I think that fits really well together. I'm really happy with how this turned out because, you know, oxide ink is a little bit uncontrollable and on photo paper it reacts differently than on normal paper or on other paper. I mean, photo paper is normal paper as well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Oxide ink reacts differently on photo paper than on other papers, and with that it's sometimes a little even more uncontrollable what happens. And because of that, I'm really happy that this turned out so nice and that it fits so well to the flowers there. Yeah, and I'm really curious where this will go now. I love these little flowers. That's cool. This, by the way, is also one of the examples where I said a while ago that I used some things from Happy Mails. This was also sent to me in a Happy Mail, and I really, really like that. I so enjoy to use your things in my journals, because when I do that, this year, for example, as well, this I also got in a Happy Mail, that then it feels like we are together here at the same craft desk, and it feels like we had made this together. Yeah, so when I added this flower here, first I thought, oh, can I do that? Because, you know, this pattern on this triangle was really, really nice. And then I thought, oh, shall I perhaps leave this pocket like it is? Because the person, you know, who made it has made it. Can I change it? And can I glue my flower on here? Or will I then destroy the art of this pocket? But then I thought, I want this, and I want the flower here and also the stamping around here, because this little thing, adding the flower here, made me feel that we made this pocket together. And then with that, somehow the whole journal. And I mean, what is this? I'm sitting here and talking to my camera, and I'm sitting here alone, but I know that you will watch this video, and with that, and with knowing that you have watched the other videos from this little series, we made this together. Yeah, I was not alone here, even if I was alone here. Do you know what I mean? And that feels really, really special, and I really enjoy that, and especially with things you have made, because then I have that in my hands, and when it's then here, and then it goes to another creative person when the journal goes away, and that is even more special, isn't it? Yeah. And what I also learned from this journal is that I will definitely do way more layering with my digital papers in the future. Here, for example, there's also a video about this page here. I have taken die cuts, but also, how can I show you that? I want to lift this up. This is not so easy because it's so fat. I mixed die cuts with prints from the paper. Can you see this is, I have printed the page twice, or I think even three, that is a lie, 3 times, 2 times, I can't remember, multiple times to make these layers here, so that these layers are, you know, dimensional, but that they fit exactly there where the flower on the first layer was. If you want to check that out, and if you don't understand what I'm talking about here, I can't even understand that myself because it's weird. Please check out the video from the playlist. There you will see how I made this, and I will definitely do more like this in the future. This is really, really cool, I think. And somehow this is also something where I thought, yes, this is me and this is part of my style. And I think when you found something like that, then you should do more like that in the future, because that can help to, yeah, to find your style and to, how is the word? Manifestation, is that a word? Your style, so that you can, you know, have multiple journals and everyone can see that you have made them. And that can, yeah, in my opinion, only happen when you have things like, you know, elements or techniques or, you know, something like this layering or so, which repeats in the different journals you made. Yeah, that's it. I think they want to kiss now. And then they want to say goodbye. Oh my goodness, he's nearly invisible. How crazy is that? When I look from here, I mean, you know, I can see him from here and I can see him there on my iPad. And that is what you can see as well. So, you know, that I see what I'm filming. I mirrored my screen to my iPhone. And here it's nearly invisible. If I hold my hand like so that the green is not there anymore, that is crazy. But from here, he is crazily purple and he's really visible. Can I show you that? Yeah, look. Whee. See you the next time, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.